everybody, it's your girl Stephanie C. Dixon, the Inspirational Diva, host of the Inspirational Diva Show. And we have a great show for you today because we have Mr. Rand Carlson of Men of Nehemiah. And he's going to be here talking to us about the Men of Nehemiah program and also talking to us about the concert that Men of Nehemiah Choir will be singing at with baseball great Daryl Strawberry. Keep it locked right here and we'll be right back. And don't forget that at the end of the show, you can see how you can win tickets to this concert. Ooh. See you in a few.
It's Saturday, you know what's up on the radio, it's a diva. 10:30 a.m. Gonna tell your friends that you're on the radio with the diva.
You discover faith for the journey. I'm talking strength for the mission. Right here with Stephanie Dixon, Inspirational Diva. This one for all my believers. How you learning and living? Right here with Stephanie Dixon.
She has it all.
Real talk, real faith, real truth.
Got it all.
Got the news, got the hits, got the scoop.
Got it all.
This the Inspirational Diva.
You can only tell your friends that you're on the radio with the diva.
All right, everybody, we are back. It's your girl Stephanie C. Dixon, the Inspirational Diva, host of the Inspirational Diva Show. And as I told you earlier, I always say we have an exciting show because to me, all of the shows are exciting. But today we really do have an exciting show because I was at an event a few weeks ago called Inform Dallas. And they had a male chorus there, male choir that was singing. And I tell you, we had some church at that event, okay? But these men came from a place called Men of Nehemiah. And we have, I don't know why I want to say Carlson Rand, but it's Rand Carlson. And he's going to tell us his association with Men of Nehemiah. But it just to hear the testimonies of the men that were there and how this place has helped them on their journey from being addicted to drugs and alcohol. It was just amazing. So, Rand, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Good. Thank you so much for taking time out because I know you're busy.
Absolutely. Sure.
But thank you so much for taking your time to be on the Inspirational Diva Show. So, Rand, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Rand Carlson. I'm the Senior Manager of Operations here at the Men of Nehemiah. It's just a title. I really wear many different hats, mostly church partnerships, anything with the outward face of the ministry. But I also work one-on-one with these guys and try to get them set up for success in the future.
Good. That is so awesome. So why the name Men of Nehemiah?
Okay, yeah, so Men of Nehemiah. So in the Bible, in the Old Testament, there's an Old Testament prophet named Nehemiah. And the whole theme of the book of Nehemiah is rebuilding the walls. And so that's what we do. We rebuild the spiritual walls in these men's lives that have been torn apart by homelessness, substance abuse, cycles of incarceration. And so that's kind of where that name comes from.
And I need to say it right. I keep saying Nehemiah and it's Nehemiah. Get it right, Stephanie. Okay, so I want to know what is Men of Nehemiah for? What exactly is this program for?
Yeah, so our mission really is to put God-fearing men back in the homes. We believe that if you put a God-fearing man back in the home, you change that family forever, right? And so we deal with a lot of substance abuse issues. We're primarily a faith-based substance abuse treatment facility. But, with that, there's so much trauma involved in that and behavioral issues involved in that. And so it's a 9-month residential program. We have 3 different legs of the stool, we call it, that make up our program. We have our clinical department, which we have licensed clinicians on staff to kind of deal with some of those underlying issues that contribute to substance abuse. And then we have our military department. So our organization was founded by a colonel in the U.S. military. And so it's very disciplined, very structured. And so the military component kind of instills that, things that translate to leading your family when you get out of here. And then most importantly, our biblical discipleship program. So we are faith-based 100%. And so these guys, our mission is to bring them into relationship with Jesus Christ.
Awesome. And I like that because one thing that I feel, I guess, maybe a difference between this and being incarcerated, because when if a person goes to jail, they go to jail. There's really not a lot of rehabilitation.
Sure.
So to come to a place like Men of Nehemiah, where you're helping to rehabilitate, you're helping them to deal with the past or the demons that keep taking them back to that addiction.
Sure.
Would you say that that's a true statement?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a reason why our program is 9 months. You know, it's 9 months, but then once they graduate, they have the option of staying where we're filming right now, our sober living house, for up to another 3, 4 months. So now they've got, by the time they graduate and go through our sober living program, they've got a whole year where they've been dealing with those issues.
Right.
You know, we feel like the longer that they stay connected here, the better chance of success in the future.
Awesome. So, as you stated, we're in the sober living house here, so that's where we're recording from.
Yeah.
So you see the kitchen in the back, cooking. Okay. So, this is a residential
Yes.
program. So so do they have the option to live somewhere else and come daily, or do they have to live here?
Yes, so they have to live here. We do have an IOP situation where people come and do classes in the evening. But for the most part, it is a 9 month program. And so right across the street from here, there's an apartment complex, and we own all the units. So each apartment has 4 guys in it. And they stay there and they walk over every day for class.
Wow, that is awesome. So, do you have other organizations or stores or maybe apartment complexes that you partner with that help with the men once they finish the program?
Nothing official, but we are very well plugged into the recovery community. And so when guys finish their time here, we usually help them with resources to find other housing, Oxford House kind of situations, sober living situations. Yeah.
Awesome. Do y'all help with employment?
Oh, yes.
Good,
Yes.
good. That is awesome.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like that you all really do everything you can to make sure that when they go back out into the world that they are prepared.
Yes.
And I love the fact that it's faith based because for me, I just know for me, anytime I'm going through a situation, I know I can pull out that Bible or I can listen to a gospel song or something and it gets me on track. And it's good that you all offer that to them to let them know that they can go to God, they can go to prayer, they can listen to a gospel song or something and try to help them. So, what does a day here at the Men of Nehemiah consist of?
Sure. Yeah. It's tough. So it starts at 5 a.m.
Wow.
5 a.m., feet on the floor, chores, and then they move into their morning devotional with their house. So, like I said, there's 4 men to a house. And so after they do their chores, they do a devotional together. And then they come over and they line up in formation and they do physical training, marching. You know, so we've got a guy who works here. His name's Sarge, and so just picture a military drill sergeant, and that's Sarge. And so he trains the guys, physical training. He marches them around the neighborhood, and then by the time that's done, they'll go in for breakfast, and then classes start. So they have counseling, individual counseling sessions. They have group process groups, and then we get people from all over, different church partners and stuff that send volunteers to teach biblical curriculum.
Awesome. So it is a well-structured and well-disciplined program.
Yes. So from 5 a.m. till 7, 8, depending on the evening, there is accounted for. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So what is the success rate of persons that have come here, finished the program, have gone out into the world, and have just really been doing very well?
Yeah. So right now, our success rate, if they graduate the program, it's 64%.
Awesome.
For 2 years. And that's kind of the metric that we're tracking right now. After 2 years, we kind of start to lose touch with guys because they've moved on and they have lives elsewhere. But we do a pretty good job of tracking them for the first 2 years. And so we're about 64%.
That is good. That is really good. Now, as I stated earlier, I met Rand at the Informed Dallas. Rand is a choir director.
Unofficially, yes.
But tell us about the choir, because let me tell you, Rand had them, and see, I'm a choir director in my church, so I was watching you. I was like, okay, Rand, you had it going on. So tell us about the choir.
Man, so our founder Lewis, who is not here today, but he had this vision when he started the ministry. He saw men singing, and that's what he saw, and we believe that worship is where you get your breakthrough.
Yes.
And so everywhere we go, some places, they have car washes. Some places sell, plates or banana bread. We go out and we sing. That's what we do. And so we believe in the power of masculine praise, men worshiping God. And that's what we want to see. We want to influence everywhere we go that, hey guys, it's cool to worship God. Right.
Yeah.
And so worship is probably one of the biggest things that we do here. The most important.
And it's also because they were singing, but they were also praising,
Yes.
and so it wasn't like we're just here performing. No, they felt what they were singing about, and that's what really, really moved me. It was that some of them were just standing there, just in praise and in deep worship, and I love that, and I think that is another reason why this program is so successful. Again, because it is God centered.
Yeah.
It is God centered, and so many. I think this is just my opinion, but I think so many men miss that a lot of times growing up, maybe not going to church or nobody there influencing them or being forced to go to church because they're being raised by grandma or something. It's like, you're going to church, and they're sitting there like, I'll be glad I go home, But to see that you all are actually letting them know the importance of God in their lives and the importance of knowing that God can keep you on the straight and narrow. So how excited do you get when you see them just like going forth and finishing the program and everything?
I get so excited. It's what motivates me. When you talk about seeing a guy coming off the streets and he's broken and just desperate and hopeless, and then he starts to buy into what we're doing here. And then a few weeks later, you start to kind of see that light come on. And then over time, they grow from somebody who came in just broken, just quiet, and now they're leading the community. Not only leading, but leading worship. Standing up there. And worship is so big for us because, when you hit that rock bottom, right, when the enemy tried to take us out, and then to see where we're at today and just feel the goodness of God, it's overwhelming, right? And so that's why I say that's where your breakthrough comes in, because when you're worshiping, you can't think of anything else. And we were created to worship.
That's right.
We were created to worship, and as men, I feel like a lot of times we get it wrong growing up because we get this false idea of what being a man is. And men were created to lead their families and worship God, and so that's what we teach here.
I love it. I love it. So, Rand, let me ask you this: is this a personal journey for you?
Absolutely.
Tell us about your testimony.
Okay, so I grew up, quote unquote, normal life, right? When I was a teenager, my parents divorced just kind of out of the blue, and it sent me into rebellion. And so I started, smoking weed, drinking. And something I realized was when my friends could stop and go home, I kept going. And so fast forward 15 years, what started as weed and alcohol, I became a full-blown heroin addict, methamphetamine addict. And it sent me to prison, homelessness, and by the grace of God, I ended up here at the Men of Nehemiah. And I wasn't a believer when I came. I told people that I was an atheist. I don't know if I really believed that I was an atheist, but that's what I told people.
Right.
And just coming here, initially my plan was just to get off the streets, get my strength back, and then get back out there. But something happened,
Wow.
God moved
Come on, God.
while I was here, and the biblical teaching, I started to connect with what was going on. And God used this place to change my life. And today I'm going on 5 years clean, and it's all glory to God. But He used this place, and the greatest thing about this place is that it's completely free. We don't charge a dime for our services.
That's
here.
Amazing.
Yeah,
that is so amazing. So now there's no excuse.
You
can't say I don't have the money.
If you want the help, we got it.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
it. That's it. I like that. So also when the men were singing at the Inform Dallas, you had one person to give his testimony.
Yes.
And I was just so blown away. So how often are they able to tell their testimonies when you all go out and sing?
Oh, we tell everyone to stay ready. Because when we go out to sing, it's not just about singing, like you said. We're not just there to perform. We're not singing. They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. That's in Revelation. And so when we go out, we always share our testimony. That's just what we do. Where we were, what happened, where we're at today.
Awesome. So we know this program is to help. And so we know sometimes sometimes people turn down that help. So in a situation where somebody comes and they just feel like this is just not for me, how do you all handle that?
Well, there's no locks on the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone is free to go at any time. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, I left that part out in my story. So
Mm-hmm.
I came here once before,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed about 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
and I went out and got some more pain. But that second time I came in, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I hear
Yeah.
you now, right? And so we have to say, you never want to cheat a man from his experience. So
Mm-hmm.
we give them everything we have,
Mm-hmm.
and if they're not ready, they're not ready. But
Right.
we always welcome them back.
So how often do you see that where someone goes out and comes back? Do you see that quite often?
It's not a lot. So,
Okay.
as seasons are different. So
Mm-hmm.
some
Mm-hmm.
seasons, a lot of people do that. Some
Yeah.
seasons, no one leaves. And
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes, yeah, guys
Yeah.
go out, try it on their own, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes guys leave and they're super successful.
Mm-hmm.
God moved while they were here,
Right.
but sometimes people go out
Mm-hmm.
and they bump their head again, and then they
Mm-hmm.
come back and say, all right,
Yeah.
let's try it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, but it's good to know that they can come back,
Yeah, absolutely.
and it's just like with God, a lot of times we may walk away from Him,
Sure.
but He's standing right there with His arms waiting for us to come on
Oh yeah.
back, and He accepts us back, and that's the good thing. That's the blessing part about having Him as our Lord and Savior.
Yes.
He's just right there, because you know what, all of us have a purpose and a plan for our life. Would you
Sure.
agree?
Absolutely.
And in their purpose and in their plan, God already knew before we came out of our mother's womb how many times we were going to mess up,
Yeah.
how we were going to mess up. But it's so good to know that we can always come back.
He has a plan.
That is such
For
a
sure.
blessing. He has a plan. All right, everybody, it's your girl Stephanie C. Dixon, the Inspirational Diva, and you're tuned into the Inspirational Diva Show, and I'm here with my special guest, Mr. Rand Carlson of Men of Nehemiah. And so we'll be coming back in just a little bit because they have some exciting events coming up, and so we want you to be a part of it. So we'll be right back.
Home Care Network brings healthcare in the comfort of your home. Our skilled nurses can cover everything that you would get in a hospital, from wound care management, pulmonary and cardiac care, medication management, and physical, occupational, speech therapy, x-rays, and more. Home Care Network has 3 locations in DeSoto, Rockwall, and Palestine. Visit homecarenetwork.com or on Facebook at Home Care Network TX. Home Care Network, the care you need in the comfort of your home.
All right, everybody, we are back. Your girl Stephanie C. Dixon, the Inspirational Diva, and I'm here with my special guest, Mr. Rand Carlson. It's like you have 2 first names.
It is, right? Yeah.
So I kind of want to say Carlson Rand.
Hey, we
Carlson.
can go with that too. That'll work.
But we are here, with Mr. Rand Carlson of Men of Nehemiah, and he's been talking to us about this wonderful, awesome program, God-centered program for anyone that is addicted to drugs and alcohol. This is the place to come.
Oh yeah.
And be delivered, set free, change life, and everything. It's a God-centered program. So we know when you put God in the middle of it, you got to change. Okay. So we're going to talk about some upcoming events you have. You have a lot of events that take place at the Men of Nehemiah. You have a basketball team.
Yes.
We talked about the choir that you have, and much more. So how important is it to keep the men here busy?
Oh yeah. So it's important. You're talking about replacing the old life.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to build that in the 9 months that they're here. Is trying to find, and so we offer all these different avenues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because one of them is bound to stick.
Mm-hmm.
You might when I was in the program, I gravitated towards the music. That's what I was into.
Mm-hmm.
But guys gravitate towards different things, and so yeah, when you're talking about years of substance abuse, that's all we ever did was chase that fix. And
Right.
so it's really important to keep people busy, not just for that,
Mm-hmm.
so they find things that they're into,
Mm-hmm.
but also because the mind wanders, and so an idle mind, that's what the
That was
enemy
worked out.
uses, and
Mhm,
so
mhm.
we try to keep the guys busy.
Awesome. So, with that being said, I wanted to say this right quick about the choir. This is not just a choir of men that are just singing off key. I don't know who is teaching them their notes. I don't know if it's Rand or who it is.
It's our founder, Lewis.
Okay, well,
He's
Lewis,
big music guy.
you are doing an awesome job, because the harmony in there, when I tell you, it was on point. You heard the tenors, you heard the altos. I mean, it was just like it was just amazing. It was such a beautiful sound.
Awesome.
And just to see the audience, I was like had my phone out, but then I had to put my phone up. I was like, wait a minute, let me get my praise on with him, you know. And so it's just an amazing sign, you guys. If you need to follow them on social media, he's going to give you that information a little bit so that you can know when they're out and they are ministering in song, because you are just going to be so amazed. So tell us about an upcoming event that you have with Daryl Strawberry.
Yes, so this year our fundraiser is at Highland Park United Methodist. It's September 21st. It's a Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. And we have this year, our guest speaker is baseball legend Daryl Strawberry. And he has a powerful, powerful testimony. He was on top of the world. He had everything, you would think that he had everything, but he still had that hole inside of him. And so his story is so powerful, and we're excited to hear it in person. But yeah, if you guys want to come out and see us worship, hear from Daryl Strawberry, you can go to our website, menofnehemiah.org, and you can find all the details there for that evening.
And it's so amazing that you said what you said, because we see so many people that have made it financially. They have money, they have everything that they could ever want or need. But as you said, they have that hole. There's something missing.
Yeah.
And you look at like even Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Prince, all of these people that could get anything they wanted, but there was something missing in their lives. And so it's like my pastor always says, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have God, if you don't have that love in your heart, you are missing something.
Absolutely.
And that's when people wonder. And they go searching for that missing piece.
Try to find it, and they can't.
Trying to find it, and they cannot find it, because you can only find it in God.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you. So that's with Daryl Strawberry. So I want you all to go to menofnehemiah.org, get your tickets and go. Do you know the cost of the tickets?
I believe they're $75, but if you send us a direct message on Instagram, we'll give all the information. Okay. We do have tickets that we're trying to pass out. We want people to come and experience it.
We don't want finances to be an issue. We want to come. This is a fundraiser, so we want people to come and be a blessing.
Sure.
So that was going to be my next question. How can they get tickets? So you can get tickets at menofnehemiah.org, menofnehemiah.org, and I'll have a link that you can click to get to that website and purchase your tickets. So now this is the most important thing, the most important part of this interview to me. I have a lot of people that watch my show. I talk to a lot of people. I know a lot of people. Not bragging. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying this is a time that I can say to you, if you or someone you know has an addiction to drugs or alcohol, this is the place for them to be. So with that being said, Rand, tell the listeners how they can contact you or someone here if they know someone that needs this program.
Yeah, so our front desk phone number is 214-421-6705. You can call that number. They can give you all the information you need. You can email me personally. It's rcarlson@themenofnehemiah.org. And you can also go to our website to get more information. And also, if you want to just come check us out and experience us firsthand, every Sunday morning we have a worship service at 8 a.m. And our address is 2010 Al Lipscomb Way. That's in Dallas, Texas. We do that every Sunday. And so people from all over Dallas, even our homeless population, we're all having church together, worshiping. And we do that every Sunday at 8 a.m. And then we have a Tuesday night Bible study every Tuesday at 6 p.m. as well. And so if you know somebody that's struggling with drugs and alcohol, bring them. Bring them. Let them come check it out, and just see what happens. See how the Lord moves. But if you want information as to how to get them in, just call that number 214-421-6705.
Awesome. So now we know we're in the time of social media. So how can the listeners follow you on social media?
Sure. So Instagram and Facebook, it's so Facebook is facebook.com/menofnehemiah. Instagram, same thing, instagram.com/menofnehemiah. And YouTube, if you just search Men of Nehemiah, we have a channel on there as well.
All right. So Again, tell us about the event that's coming up with Daryl Strawberry because we want you all to come out. We want you to come out.
Yeah, September 21st, 7 o'clock at Highland Park United Methodist Church. That's 3300 Mockingbird Lane. Men of Nehemiah, we're going to be worshiping. We're going to be sharing some stories. And then Daryl Strawberry, legendary baseball player, powerful testimony. He's going to be speaking that night. So it's something you definitely want to come check out.
And I think sometimes I think it is good when we hear testimonies from the celebrities.
Yeah.
To know that, because if they can mess up, and get right, you can too. Because a lot of people, as crazy as it may sound, but they think, as we just said earlier, they think when they have all that money, they have been made in the shade, and they don't. And I think that when they have that type of money, that's when they're faced with more issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I know that it's a heart condition, right? So you can have all the money in the world, you can have no money in the world. If your heart's not right, especially with the Lord, it doesn't matter what you have because you're still going to be searching for something, and you're not going to find it until Jesus calls you.
That's right. Let me tell you, I think it's Andre Crouch. And y'all know I love Andre Crouch, but he had a song years ago that said, "Living this kind of life, it gets sweeter and sweeter day by day." And that's the way it is when you live in your life for Christ.
That's right.
Rayan, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, and I pray God's continued blessings on you and this program, Men of Nehemiah, that it continues to bless others and help others to know about God's saving grace.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right, everybody, that's it for your girl, Stephanie C. Dixon, the Inspirational Diva. But before we go, you know what time it is. It's time for God's text message of the day. Before Sprint, T-Mobile, AT&T, or Metro PCS had text messaging, God had already given us the greatest text message of all, and that's the Word of God. And we need to find ourselves forwarding that text message out so that others can be blessed by what God has to say to his people. And then we must reply to God's text message by applying it to our lives so that others can see God's good work in us. Today, God's text message of the day comes from Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 and 24. And it says, "And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men." In other words, whatever you do, make sure you're doing it for God and not for men. And verse 24 says, "Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ." In other words, whatever you do it for the Lord, and you will receive your reward from him. And it's the best reward you'll ever get. All right. That's Colossians 3, verses 23 and 24. Remember, take that out to somebody and let them be blessed by what God has to say. All right, in his text message. Listen, everybody, remember that if nobody told you, I love you, Jesus loves you, and there ain't a thing that you can do about that. Thank you for tuning in to the Inspirational Diva Show. Don't forget, you can tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Facebook and on YouTube. You all be blessed, and until next time, I love you. Bye. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Come on.